Hello everyone, Cappuccino here, and today we are going to be doing a pro analysis on Fissure, who is arguably one of the best tanks in the game today, and is probably best known as the tank for the Gladiators, but he recently moved on to the Seoul Dynasty, so we'll see how that goes for him. Regardless, that does not change his skill level as a tank, and we're going to take this time to analyze gameplay as Reinhardt on King's Row. The first thing I notice is his amazing patience to play the objective and not get too caught up in trying to secure eliminations, especially when trying to cap a point. As you can see in this clip right here, he just plays the corner of the objective, just swinging at the Rein. He knows that they're capping the point and they need to be the aggressor and he can have the defensive advantage. And little by little, his team just slowly picks off their team. He gets a pick on Rein, and their team secures a point while slowly whittling at the other enemy team. So what can we learn from this? We can learn that we don't always need to be the aggressor, even if we're taking the point. If we're slowly capping it and the enemy team isn't contesting it, it's up to them to be the aggressor and for us to have the defender's advantage when playing this objective. Something I also noticed in his gameplay is that he utilizes charge to close the gap on his enemies, not necessarily to always secure a pin. So here they picked off most of the enemy team, and as we can see, Zarya just got rezzed right there, and he uses charge right here to cut her off, not necessarily to get a pin, but to cut her off and body block her and to make sure she's unable to get out. He also does this frequently after capping a point. He plays very aggressive and uses his charge ability to create more space and possibly secure additional eliminations. I know what you're probably thinking, isn't that risky? The answer is no, it's actually not risky because he's already calculated the reward to risk ratio. So if you look at, what are the reward, what is the possible positive outcomes of doing this right after you cap the point, is that you're able to possibly heavily stagger the team by getting an additional pick. On the flip side of things, the risk is that you're going to get out of position and they might pick you off. But that is not that bad because you just cap the point and your spawn is right there. There's really nothing else to do. So you might as well push up while your other team is on the payload. Let's look at another example of where he uses charge. Here, I think they're up in count and they're making space, so he charges at the Hanzo and almost gets a pick. In this clip, he's just biding his time, waiting for the right moment, and then he charges in towards the support and D.Va and starts swinging and actually gets both supports. This one actually is pretty risky in my opinion because he kind of opens up his backline to get shot by the Widow, and actually he loses that one, so personally I probably wouldn't have done that one. And in this next one, he's chasing down the Doomfist, using that shift to chase him down. And actually, he doesn't get the elimination, but his Widow finishes off the Doomfist for him. In this last example, their team is wiping the other team and they're about to secure the next point. But instead of just sitting on the payload and just finishing it off, he pushes forward and tries to get an additional pick. In this case, he died. But again, that's okay because their team is about to cap the point and it's kind of just going to sit there and his spawn's going to be a few meters away from the payload anyway. The last thing I noticed was his amazing health awareness of, how aggressive he can be. As you can see here, he's fighting and he notices health drops around 200 and he starts backing out. Even though he has the support of his team, he knows that he's getting out damaged and he's unable to have his healers keep up with all that damage, so he backs out a little. In this next example, his team obviously has the advantage, but if you notice, his health was dropping, so then he puts his shield up. I think most Reins would have kept swinging because, they felt like they had the advantage, but in this case, he knew that he was taking too much damage, he put his shield up, and unfortunately he had to back out. So, every time a Zarya grabs, it doesn't mean that, you have to go full all in and keep swinging. Sometimes it means that you have to back out, and that was another amazing charge by him right here. He's fighting the Hanzo one-on-one over here, and this Hanzo's actually getting supported by the Zen, and he recognizes that and he knows he can't take that battle, so instead he puts his shield up and gets healed and allows his teammates to capitalize. As you can see there, the Widow just picked off the Hanzo for him. Most Reins would have tried to take that fight. Over here, the Rein is being really aggressive. He's just trying to hold his shield up, blocks the shatter. You know, he knows that their team has the momentum right now, and he just slowly backs out. It's all about the awareness of, you know, when you should hold your ground and when you should fall back. So in conclusion, we've learned how to be more patient and play the objective, how to use charge to close space, and also how to be aware of your health and when to fall back. Thank you for watching this video. Hopefully it proved to be very helpful for you, and if you enjoyed this video, feel free to watch other videos or subscribe to my channel. Thanks.